Hello and welcome to your weekly messages with me, Deborah Jane Sutton. Today is Sunday, the 13th of October, 2024. So we'll see what messages are coming up for us this week. If you haven't already seen the messages for the month of October, link in the description, video in the end screen, about thinking with the heart, and understanding that our power lies in using our senses. Yes, using our senses and really kind of promoting our senses and realizing that our power lies there. Because of course we have something called the sixth sense, which is intuition. There was lots of other things that came up as well. They were just the things I put in the title. So yeah, check those out if you haven't done already. And this evening, if hopefully you're watching this in time for this reminder, this evening at 7 p.m. Spanish time, 6 p.m. UK time, we have Tarot and Beyond with the lovely Liz Nagel, where we are going to do a card reading for the group, and then we're just going to interpret the cards, see what comes through, any guidance, any wisdom, and people can participate, of course, with their own stories, with their own shares, with their own interpretations, or with their own questions. Of course, it's a perfect opportunity for Q&A with me and Liz. Liz always has wonderful words of wisdom to share with others. It's a free online event. We do it every month. It's on the second Sunday of every month. So if you do miss October's one, the next one is on the 10th of November. The link, the Zoom link, is on the homepage of my website at deborahjanesutton.com. So go and check it out and join us for Tarot and Beyond, free online event. So yeah. What else is going on at the moment? Well, I don't know about you, but I don't know whether it's connected to Pluto being in Capricorn or not, but we know that Pluto moved into Aquarius and then it moved back into Capricorn at the beginning of September. I'm a big fan of looking at the positive qualities of Capricorn, because I think it's often, I think people focus on the negative side of it. Well, in tarot, of course, Capricorn is the devil card. So I do understand why people focus on the negative qualities of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. But there are lots of positive qualities. But I am noticing around that, because Pluto, of course, is the powerhouse, and it's in Capricorn now until the middle of November, when it will move back into Aquarius, which is represented in tarot by the Star card, which is all about heaven on earth, creating heaven on earth. But I am noticing that there's a lot of kind of, I want to say paperwork, a lot of kind of, it's the strictness, it's the discipline. This is what Capricorn is, getting things in order and a little bit controlling. But, we can look at it as a positive. But I'm finding a lot of people having to renew permits, visas, licenses, things like that. So that's very Capricorn. And also, of course, being the devil card, it represents the ego and can represent fear. And I'm noticing this as well, a lot of fear coming up, which is fine, because the way I look at it is it's giving us that opportunity to really cleanse ourselves of deep-rooted fear, remembering that we are not just our human selves, we are the whole universe in one human being. So if you've cleansed, once we've cleansed what the trapped emotions and fear and the limiting beliefs of our human in this lifetime, we then go on and we've got past life stuff to clear, we've got ancestral stuff to clear. We're going through a great awakening, and we chose to do this at this time. We chose to come in and clear this density, the energy, the density of this energy. That's the density of the emotions and the thinking, the programming, the beliefs. And also we've got, yeah, our ancestors, and we've also the whole collective. So when we release something from ourselves, we are releasing it from the collective. And when you understand that, that's where your power lies as well, because when you can embody that understanding, then you can really feel that when you release something from your human, you're actually releasing it from the collective, from all of humanity. So it doesn't matter how far along this path you are, there's still some fear coming up. And I say thank you to Capricorn for this, because it's fear that we are not aware of. It's like deep rooted fear. And we don't have to worry about it. It's about processing it, acknowledging it, processing it, feeling it to heal it. And of course, we have techniques now, don't we? If you have any fear come up in any area of your life, breathing techniques, just breathe using the breath, slowing the breath down can really help overcome fearful moments, anxiety, anything like that. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that around. And I'm also seeing a lot of people feeling like they're either going backwards. They're sort of like, hang on, I'm going backwards here. Maybe with addictions. Now, addictions is also the devil card in tarot, which is Capricorn. So going backwards with addictions, and or maybe just feeling stuck and not going forward. But it's okay. It's okay. I think the biggest problem with this stuff is the judging and the perceiving this is positive, this is negative. The devil card is negative, the star card is positive. Take the opportunity to really enjoy that in-depth cleansing that the devil card it's giving us, because obviously we need it. And a lot of this stuff is subconscious, isn't it? And when we are working on behalf of the collective, we can see, we know there's fear out there. We know there's stuff that needs to be, released. So I see it all as a good thing. So the middle of November, we'll be seeing Pluto moving into Aquarius again. And that's, of course, the humanitarian sign and one of freedom, which is very much the opposite of Capricorn. So I think we will feel a difference. So I just wanted to share that just in case you are feeling a little bit stuck or you are feeling a little bit, devil cardish. We'll see what comes up this week anyway. And oh, I like it when it happens like that. It means it's obvious that that one wanted to be seen. Right, we've got 3 cards. Face down, let's dive in. Okay, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant's coming up quite a lot lately. He is a mentor. He's a spiritual teacher. Of course, he's got to come up because we need to understand, don't we? It's like Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And of course, not just the secrets of the universe, it's everything in life. If you want to improve everything in your life, you've got to think of terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So he's also my 7 Hermetic Principles card, of course, which came up last week. Because it's the 7 laws, natural laws, or quantum laws, however you want to view it, that govern the universe and the creation of the universe. So that really helps us understand how we can consciously create the reality we choose by understanding how reality is created. I'll put a link in the description to my video on how we create reality, because I think that might be relevant with this. But this is about seeking a mentor, seeking a spiritual mentor. This is about aligning with your divinity. So it's more about, we can find mentors that help us, with our physical activity or with our businesses and stuff like that. But this card is specifically about understanding yourself as a spiritual being, understanding your soul, I'm going to plug my second book now, Heal Your Soul. Link in the description. There's always links in the description to my books. But yeah, I don't think I've ever gone straight in with the second book, Heal Your Soul, because that's what he's saying as well, looking at yourself as a soul rather than a human. So your soul is expressing itself through this human. So your Albert Einstein said that our humans are the musical instruments through which our souls play their music. And I love that description. But you're so much more than the human that you incarnated as in this lifetime. You've incarnated in numerous lifetimes. Well, most of you have, although I am aware of people coming in at this time of the Great Awakening that actually have no karma and have no past lives. I read for somebody recently, and it was really weird because normally when I tap into the Akashic records and tune into soul reading, I can feel the density, of the past life trauma or past life blocks and restrictions to life force and things like that. Like the density that I've already mentioned that we came here to clear. I can usually feel it, but I tuned into this person and there was just this lightness of being. And I was like, oh my God, there's nothing here to read. It was amazing. Um, But yeah, so meeting people like that, that's happening in the Great Awakening. Because most of the work that we're doing, this inner work, it's about clearing our own karma. It's about clearing our own karma. And so this is about understanding ourselves as a spiritual being, and looking at life from that perspective, which is really good because, of course, it takes you away from all this division and this duality. Men and women. We've been both men and women, right? Our souls, have been both men and women. So let's not get hung up on genders. And also. Um, we've had all sorts of experiences. We would have had experiences of being different, ethnic, backgrounds. So we've been black, we've been white, we've been everything, right? We've been rich, we've been poor. We've been evil, we've been good. I mean, we've been the whole lot, right? And sometimes the trauma that we experienced in past lives stays with us, and that trauma could be because somebody was the perpetrator and we were the victim. But very often in the readings that come up when I'm releasing the soul blocks, it's us creating trauma from our own unconscious behavior, from us being the perpetrator, which sounds horrible, but we've just got to take it on board that this is a part of evolution and we've got to release the judgment. Okay. But also very often we've been the perpetrator, but at the time we thought we were doing good. That is a big one. That is a big one. I see that a lot. People thinking that they're doing good, but actually when you look at the bigger picture, you realize that you are contributing to the density of humanity and the trauma of humanity. It's an interesting one. But the most important thing, of course, is to release all judgment. To release all judgment. So when you meet somebody that's doing something that you perceive as negative, just remember that it's resonating with a part of you, and maybe you had a past life that did that as well. And that's why you're judging it. We judge what we are, and you're going to say, but I'm not like that. And you're talking about your human. And he's telling us to look at the soul. Our souls, have been incarnating for ages. We've been everything. We are the all that is. We are everyone and everything. So how can we not have been these things? We've got to take ourselves out of this density in order to see that when we go to that field that I've mentioned before, beyond right and wrong. Let's go to that field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there and stop the judgment. Yeah. So when you start looking at yourself as a multidimensional being, and you start looking at things from the soul level, because your soul resides in the fifth dimension, right? So you're already looking at things with an open heart of forgiveness, love, acceptance, non-judgment. And that's a beautiful place to be. And then you can just look at unconscious behavior, your own, and others. And you can just look at it as a learning curve, you know? A 4-year-old believes in Father Christmas, but you don't look at them and damn them for it. But that's a false belief. It's not true, but you don't hold it against them for the rest of their life because they are living their life with this belief that isn't true. If you think about it, most people that cause harm, or most people that create that trauma, are following beliefs that are not in alignment with divine truth. Okay, but we don't have to judge them for it. We just see that they're on their path. They haven't tapped into divine truth. That doesn't mean that we don't tap into ours. You see, when we judge them for not living within divine truth, we're not living within our divine truth, are we? Because our divine truth is non-judgment. Our divine truth is love and compassion, understanding. So when we judge somebody else as wrong, we're out of our own light. We're not operating within our own light. It's a good way to look at it. I know it's not easy, but this is what he's saying to me, and he is a spiritual teacher. He's come up first. He's the Hierophant, and yeah, this is about understanding things from a higher level of consciousness. Next card, dreams and wishes. I love it. It's come on the heels. We have to connect it. I think if we want to achieve our dreams and wishes, and I want to say, let's keep these dreams and wishes vague, rather than I want a really big house, I want a really fast car, I want my own private helicopter, whatever. Or if it's like, oh, I want to be super skinny or something like that, or I don't know. But let's just keep the dreams happy, healthy, abundant. Okay, I mean, if we keep it vague, you have much more chance of achieving it, because when we start wanting something, maybe it's not what your soul asked for. It's back to the soul. This is really a soul reading, I think, today, because if your soul wants you to learn something a certain way, maybe it wants to teach you something about money, and it wants to show you how you can be happy and successful and healthy and abundant, but living in a tiny place, living in a mobile home, working from a tent in the garden, as an example. But also your soul might want you to learn to be happy on your own and not in a relationship. And all your human is doing is running around dating people, trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. Whereas, in fact, maybe your soul wants you to be on your own. Let's just bring it back to, if your dreams and wishes are happiness, joy, health, and abundance. Keep it vague, because sometimes we don't know where our abundance lies. Sometimes we don't know where our happiness lies. If we've been programmed, you've got to get yourself a good job, and you've got to make yourself loads of money, and you've got to get yourself a decent house and a decent this and a decent. If that's our programming, then we're going to be doing that, and we're not tapping in to what our soul actually wants for us in this lifetime. And sometimes there's different soul lessons. Okay, so your soul has chosen the lessons it wants to learn in this lifetime. Maybe, sometimes we have to lose what it is that we value the most in order to learn that we can be sovereign on our own, and that we don't need to be dependent on others. Or so often I see this with money. People have a lot of money and then lose it, because they have to learn that their self-esteem and their respect for themselves has to come from within. Their security and their freedom is a frequency that has to be cultivated inside in order to create it outside. So if you're looking at a person to support you and to look after you, or your money to support you and look after you, if you're getting your sense of self-esteem from your position at work, for example, then you might lose your job, because all those things, your self-esteem, your respect, your self-love, your sense of security, your sense of freedom, your sense of abundance, all of this we need to cultivate within us in order to create it outside of us. And if we're getting those feelings from our external circumstances, don't be surprised if you lose them, because that's a soul lesson. So that's kind of an interesting one, which brings it back to what you're wishing for. So, yeah, I just think happiness, health, and abundance, really, keep it simple. But this card usually means that all your dreams and wishes are fulfilled. And because he's come on the heels of this card, I think it's saying that in order to find this level of dreams coming true, you need to work within the laws that govern the universe. Because otherwise, you're pushing energy where it doesn't want to go. Otherwise, you're creating hard work. You've got to work really hard, you know. Whereas when you understand the laws of the universe and how the universe is created and how you are the creator of your own reality, and you're creating it through the frequency that you are as the multidimensional being that you are, when you understand all of that, then of course you understand how to raise your frequency. That's book number 1, link in description. But you understand how to raise your frequency and how to work with your energy in order to maximize your life force. And when you maximize your life force, obviously you expand into higher levels of consciousness, and that gets reflected back to you. So then your life just gets better and better, but from a higher level of consciousness rather than from a place of, you know, maybe programmed greed, for example, or programmed, you know, ego. Because that's another thing going, yeah, with the devil card, Capricorn, that I was talking about before. The devil card is ego. And I'm seeing this a lot as well, is that we're having opportunities to transcend the ego. And that's what this is about as well. These spiritual teachings are about transcending the ego. So if your dreams and wishes are all about pampering your ego, you know, then don't be surprised if it doesn't work out. So we want the dreams and wishes, obviously, to be in alignment with your highest self. That's what we want to say, isn't it? Yeah, that makes sense. The last card this week is the Four of Wands, which I absolutely love. Yes, it is the wedding card. So if you, I know some people that are getting married in a month's time, so I'm sure that's relevant to them. But this is also about co-creation. It's like a portal. You see the 11 here and the 11 here, and they're walking through a portal. It's like when two people come together, 1 + 1 = 3. Because two people come together and they, in a marriage, create the child, which is the 3. You know, it's the creation, the fruition. But of course, this is happening not just with having physical babies and getting married. This is happening with people co-creating. It is all about co-creating, coming together as a community and people working together to create something new, and to create that third thing. So this card is really beautiful, but it's come on the heels of the other two, which means that when you're in alignment with who you are at soul level, and you're achieving all your dreams and wishes, okay, once everything's happening and all these beautiful things are falling into place for you, look for people to co-create with. Because together we're like the threads of the tapestry. I know I said this before, but it's so beautiful to see that we are sovereign and we can look after ourselves. And the threads on their own are beautiful. You could be made of silk, you could be a beautiful color, you know, but when the threads weave with each other, we make this beautiful tapestry of co-creation. And we are creating heaven on earth. We're creating the new earth, and we all have a role to play. And the castle in tarot represents our goals in life. And it's often in the background. and it's often kind of difficult for us to get to. But in this card, you can see that they are dancing in front of the castle, which means that they are right in front of their goals in life, their dreams and their wishes. And so this one, coming on the heels of this one, tells me that our dreams can be created through co-creating with other people, working as a community, working together through love and kindness. Yeah, and yeah, seeing where in the tapestry your thread is going to be best used. You take a tapestry and you take one thread out, and you can really tell, can't you? It's kind of flawed. So we all have a part to play, and it's about finding our place in that tapestry of life. And we do it, obviously, by working at a soul level. Um, and co-creating with other souls that have the same vision to create the new earth, which is governed by love and kindness. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I really hope I see some of you at the Tarot and Beyond this evening, and if not, the one in November. Because it's a great fun event. But yeah, they're your messages for this week. I'd love to hear your comments. As always, I love you all. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.